So, I guess the cross over there on Sugarloaf blew down. And some of us have some drones and some motivation and some time. And it would be a really, really good community act if maybe a group of us could get around and find that cross and get it up there. It would be noticed and it would mean a lot to certain people in this community. Yeah. Well, it's Sugarloaf Mountain, which is also known as Dome Rock. Yeah, it's both. And we'll clear up that discrepancy too. It's both. It's Sugarloaf Mountain, which is known locally as Dome Rock, because it looks like a dome, and that's how we're doing out there. So anybody wants to go off-road, let's crowd Puddin's truck.
I already called my seat. What are those seats that are not fighting? I had some last night.
You want to answer questions? Discouraged. So again, like if you're being a Yahoo, you know it. Basically what this is saying is don't go down the trail redlining your vehicle and pulling wheelies and doing burnouts in the middle of 50 people camps. Mine shafts. Stay out, stay alive. A lot of you guys maybe say from the East Coast or different parts of the country you haven't seen a mine shaft. And some of them you don't even really see, and you're 300 feet down before you know it. So some of them look very inviting. They are not. They can collapse at any time, and they do, and it kills people every year. So they say, locals say, stay out, stay alive. And there will be signs. I'm not going to tell you guys what to do, but mine shafts can get really dangerous real quick. And likewise, you know, you don't want to drive your vehicle right up to them because they can cave in a little bit further. So ride responsibility, again, this is the second time they're making this point. Don't drive over the wildlife. It really doesn't grow back. Reduce the risk of fire. This is a thing that's good for us to know that a lot of our people don't know. Your catalytic converter, which is under your vehicle, it looks like a muffler, gets super ridiculously hot. So if you go park, say, over one of these bushes or in a patch of dryish grass and turn off your vehicle, you may think it's getting cooler, but it's actually getting hotter because there's no airflow in there anymore. And now you're in one area, and so you just created an oven under your vehicle. And I wouldn't necessarily suggest it, but go just feel the heat difference under your vehicle sometime right after you park versus what outside is. What I'm getting at is that these catalytic converters can actually cause these bushes to just light up out of nowhere. And your vehicle will be there shortly after. So we don't park over bushes, even for a minute or two, to just let our vehicle idle. Be aware of that. Your vehicle gets hot, it can start fires. Be considerate of others by sharing trails. We're not the only people on the trails. There are people who ride horses, there are people who ride bikes, there are people who hike, there are people who quad, and everywhere in between out here. If we see dog walkers, we want to slow down and not dust them out. If we see ATVers that want to go by us at 20 miles an hour, we're going to go ahead and kind of pull to the side of the trail and let them go by because they want to have a different experience. We just want to be considerate that other people are out there for different reasons.
She just went to my car. Good morning. Good morning.
And likewise with that, the biggie on being considerate is avoid creating dust and slow down. And when we're creating dust, we're actually removing trail material, and that's what caused those ruts and the washboarding and all that. Is actually when you create a cloud of dust, you're removing material and you're causing those ruts. So we keep the speed down. Some people don't, but we do. Don't cut fences. Sometimes there are ways that they try and route us, even though it looks like a trail, and that may be like wildlife management areas or trail restoration or a pissed off property owner that we don't want to ruffle his feathers anymore. So if there are no trespassing signs, when everybody goes through, you leave it closed. If it's open, when everybody goes through, you leave it open. You leave it as you found it, which is a general theory that we're going here for overall, is we tread lightly and we take only pictures and we leave only footprints. So make sure the trail is at least as wide as your OHV. There are single track trails out there. Jeeps are not welcome on them. There are hiker trails and dog trails and animal riding trails out there. And not all of the trails are for every style of off-roading. So we respect that as well, and also that is usually clearly marked. Know the OHV regulations for the area you are in. So this stuff varies state by state. I'm not going to go over the bureaucracy of it too much. We do have this wonderful book. You can get it in town, and if you guys have specific questions, come see me. I will answer them. But again, I know that's way too many rules. I would encourage you, and they are rules. I just want to say, like, some of these are guidelines, but some of these are rules that you can get ticketed for. So treadlightly.org has this philosophy and has listings of local laws and regulations and rules and guidelines and etiquette and all that. I can go over with you a little bit after this, but the general gist of it is we be a good neighbor and we go out there and be considerate that other people are living out there and are out there for different reasons, and we take only pictures and we leave only footprints. So we will be going off-road at around 11:30-ish Nomad time. I would encourage you to make sure that your gas tanks are full, that your vehicle is not dragging anything. Do a little walk around on it. If you don't have a tow strap, you can go pick up a tow strap in town from KB Tools or from any of the other tool vendors. I think Herb's Hardware has them too. If you don't have a strap, I would encourage you to get one. Do not get the ones with hooks. If they have metal hooks on them, we cannot use them. The metal hooks become bullets. Off-road straps do not have hooks, they have loops. So yeah, goggles, especially if you're in an ATV. Straps, bandana, yes. Bandana over your face. Another big one a lot of people don't think about is plenty of water. Bring water. The desert sun will still get to you even if you're in a vehicle with air conditioning. Bring a lot of water, bring some munchies, bring some snacks. Do not bring beers, please.
Damn.
Does that include
Don't
Jack
drink
Daniels?
and drive, and yes, it still counts as drinking and driving on the trail. Not here, not this time. When you get into the more advanced course.
Smoking inside.
I can't have no Jack. That sucks.
I stopped at the ranger station in Sedona because I was camped out on BLM land. September 1st, they passed a new law for out-of-staters that you have to have it even on BLM land, even when it's federal. It's a state law. That makes any sense. I have not found it yet online.
I'll go over that.
No, they just have out-of-staters didn't have to
Yeah,
have
but
it.
they already
They
did
were
it.
only, that's like 3 years old.
Yeah, but they put the OHV law, they got passed it before it even got passed, because before it was law.
So
it
anyway,
was
September 1st, if you're an out-of-stater of Arizona, you need
So I'm going to go over the OHV stuff, because there's a lot of misnomers about it. Basically what happened is it started out as a sticker in a trial program in-state, it worked out, and now, yes, it is a law. But a lot of people think that it applies to every vehicle, so I'm going to go ahead and read it here. All OHVs made by the manufacturer primarily for use over unimproved terrain and that weigh 1,800 pounds or less are required by law to display a valid OHV decal. This includes street legal vehicles that meet these two requirements. This law applies to quads. Quads are also street legal here, but they want them to have an OHV decal, primarily actually because they cause by far the most impact on the trails, and they want to be able to track the yahoos who are going 60 miles an hour down a 20-mile-an-hour run. As a local and somebody who actually kind of helped see this into existence, it's not a bad thing. But again, I repeat, all OHVs made by the manufacturer primarily for use over unimproved terrain, and that weigh 1,800 pounds or less are required by law to display a valid OHV decal. So if you have a quad and you haven't dealt with the OHV sticker, I'm sorry, but you can't come today. a Ford truck is a lot more than 1,800 pounds. Your van, my Jeep, are a lot more than 1,800 pounds. And yes, you do need a license plate, but that does supersede. And also, we are going on county roads too. So really, like, if you have a plate on your quad for us, you're okay today because we're staying on county roads. But like, don't go yahooing around here without that OHV decal because they are looking for it. They will bust you hard, including taking your vehicle. But you're okay today. But in general, to clear up some discrepancy about that, you can go read the updated legal text because there are a couple more requirements that have been instituted by that. But again, the OHV is primarily designed to apply to vehicles under 1,800 pounds. Quad, side-by-side, stuff like that, that's now driving and allowed on the road legally here. They're saying they gotta get both. They gotta get a license plate and the OHV. Anyways, sorry to get to that. Alright, cool. So anyways, a lot of you guys have been asking me about the auto care clinic. The sign-ups are here. Lisa's gonna have the sign-ups kind of after the meeting here. If you want us to check out your car, truck, van, Class A, school bus, whatever, diesel, gas, it all works out. Come sign up. It's going to be first come, first serve. Please do not mob Lisa. We will get through as many as we can. We are not going to be able to get through all of them, but I would like to make this a thing, so you may see it at future gatherings. If you are mechanically minded, also we will have a sign-up list for you, and we will have a meeting later today. So please let me know what you can do and give us your phone number, and I'll be giving you a call later today. We're going to have a little round table about running this. And that's about all I got. Lisa has one.
Hey, we had a really nice gentleman, Ben, who'd been making the coffee for us every morning, and he had to leave. So we need a volunteer to make coffee in the morning. Coffee is at 8 a.m. So you would need to be here at what time, Lisa? To start the coffee in the morning. What time do they need to be here to start it?
7:30 for 8 o'clock.
Is there anybody that would volunteer to make coffee at least one day?
I'll do it tomorrow, but I'll teach you how.
Deb will do it tomorrow. Tigger, can you do it the next day? Thank you. We've got the next 2 days set up. Would someone else consider doing it after that? I forgot your first name. Danny. So we got the next 3 days covered, Lisa.
Thank you.
Deb tomorrow, Tigger the next day, Danny after that.
Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you.
Seth, Jimmy, anything?
I'll teach you how.
So we didn't quite get to have our game day yesterday, and a lot of people still want to play games. So an alternative has been thrown out there to the off-roading, which is if you don't want to come or if you're not coming, they want to play some games in these tents today. So bring your games, let's set up some tables, and you guys that don't want to come off-road can totally have some fun too. Oh, yeah. And also, I guess the cross over there on Sugarloaf blew down. And some of us have some drones and some motivation and some time. And it would be a really, really good community act if maybe a group of us could get around and find that cross and get it up there. It would be noticed and it would mean a lot to certain people in this community. Yeah. Well, it's Sugarloaf Mountain, which is also known as Dome Rock. Yeah, it's both. And we'll clear up that discrepancy too. It's both. It's Sugarloaf Mountain, which is known locally as Dome Rock, because it looks like a dome, and that's how we're doing out in the day. So anybody wants to go off-road, let's crowd Puddin's truck.
I already called my seat. What are those seats that are already off by